jump right in.
Yeah, we'll just jump in.
Yeah.
Do we start the tape rolling?
Yes.
Okay, great. I want to call this Board of Health monthly meeting for Wednesday, July 10th at 5 p.m. to order. Can you call the roll, please?
Daniel Chenoweth,
Present.
Samantha Carter,
Here.
Graham Patterson.
Okay. Next, we have approval of the agenda. Can I have a motion?
So moved, Carter.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Next, we have approval of minutes of the previous meetings for June 20th, 2024. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion or changes? Okay, if not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. Next, we have public participation. Is anyone here to speak before the Board of Health today? Going once? Going twice? Okay, closed. Correspondence, Julie, did you have any announcements?
I guess anything that I've been getting, I just send to you guys, so there's been a lot of surveys and things like that that we get, and
Okay. Any correspondence from board members, Samantha? All right. There's seeing no old business, we'll move on to the new business with the treasurer's report. Ron?
Yep. As of May 31st, 2024, we have cash on hand of $6,694,464. Our total fund balance is just shy of $7.7 million, representing 42% of the budgeted expenditures for the year. We ended our 11th month of the fiscal year with a deficit of $1,181,616. Our total revenue through 11 months was $14,121,109, which is about $191,000 under the year-to-date budget, mostly due to grants and contracts. But we had other revenue that was over year-to-date budget of $183,000. Our total expenditures for the 11 months was $15,302,725, which is approximately $1.6 million under the budget for the year-to-date fiscal year, mostly with personnel and fringe benefits and the capital outlay.
Great, thanks, Ron. Any questions from board members? Okay, if not, we'll move on to approval of payments to the Board of Health and Trustees. We have for Treasurer Ron Fields for June 2024 services and for Attorney Ruth Lyman for legal services from May 21st of this year. May 21st of this year to May 31st of this year. Want to take a motion?
So moved, Carter.
Second, any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Approve the review of monthly credit card statements. Does anyone have any questions? I just have one question. There's a large purchase called Training Camp for $4,400. Just wondering what that is about.
hold on a minute.
It's May 10th.
Training camp,
How much?
4,400.
4,395 is,
To be exact, yeah.
that's like May 13.
I have to look at it.
I would just bring it to your attention to take a look at it, make sure it's a legitimate expense. It's one of a large, strange expense that usually I haven't seen.
Oh,
Is that motivational?
well, I was thinking maybe it's not the system Jason has to help us not get
Cybersecurity.
the cybersecurity trainings, is it that?
Whose card
He-
is it on?
he
Card
is-
is it on? Yeah, whose card is it?
It says,
Oh, it must be Julie's. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
a big
I think
card.
there's two things. One, we're sending him to a training
Yeah.
that is called a camp. That's what it is. I'll look to make sure, but
Okay.
I just didn't recognize the name of it, but it's that.
Cybersecurity training.
Yeah, he's going
Okay.
to a major boot camp.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity
Training
boot
camp.
camp. Does that sound like it? Training camp, yeah. I don't know why they just can't call it what it is.
yeah. Did you have any questions, Samantha? I didn't see anything else at this start when I went through. Next, we have approval of revised health insurance opt-out policy number 9500-2.4.
So moved, Carter.
Second, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I just I don't know if you had something you wanted to say about it, I had a question. Okay, so it looks like we currently pay out to employees when they choose to opt out, that's the current policy, right? And the
If they
change,
have insurance already.
if they have insurance already, and so I guess I'm trying to understand the meaning of the change. It used to say employees cannot elect to waive the district provided health insurance coverage if they're covered by Medicaid, and now we're saying they can do that, but they won't receive the opt-out stipend. Is that the
Right.
difference?
That is the difference, yes. Because we have some employees who are eligible and to, not penalize them for having that coverage.
Yeah.
We're not going to make them sign up for our insurance and pay for it, but we also don't feel that it is ethical to give them a stipend to not take our insurance because of the type of insurance that they have and the tax dollars and
Yeah.
all that involved in that. So
Yes,
that
they're
is the
not,
reason.
they're not paying that out of pocket. I did have a question then. Is there so Medicaid is one option, but there's also Medicare. And I'm wondering why Medicare is not part of that, since Medicare and Medicaid are both government subsidized programs?
Only that it's never come up.
Okay. I mean, it
Never.
says through a government subsidized program such as Medicaid.
Okay,
So it could be that Medicare is also covered. I just wanted to see if it did come up, if it would also be covered.
yeah, if we were presented with that, we'd look at the language and see that it's, the language you just read, and
Gotcha.
then we would honor that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And just for the record, we've been wrestling with the same issue. in
Are you
township.
assuming I'm eligible for Medicare?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying.
Julie, we have a Latin phrase, it's called res ipsa loquitur, the facts speak for themselves.
That's what we hired, that's what we have her for.
You're struggling with that too?
Yes, we are trying to balance providing incentives for employees to opt out of healthcare because healthcare is so incredibly expensive.
Exactly.
And also making sure people aren't dual covered, that it's so expensive, and not providing healthcare if they're Medicaid or Medicare eligible, including for their dependents. So
Yes.
that's what comes up, is often if their
Their
dependents might
dependents
be
are, yeah.
eligible. And I did notice the stipend is just for the employees themselves, not for their dependents.
That's correct,
Which
yeah.
I think is great, so, I actually would love to know how much you pay as opt-out, if you wanna email that to me, I would love to.
It's $200 a month.
It's 200, okay.
For single coverage, yeah.
Great.
I think we broke that down by pay period, but it's some odd number per pay period, there's 26 days, so. But it averages $200 a month, for single coverage.
Interesting. Any other questions? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries. Next, we have approval of IMRF benefit protection leave. I take a motion.
So moved, Carter.
Second, any discussion? My understanding from this, I haven't done this with IMRF before, but that someone can take a certain amount of leave up to 12 months in their entire membership time. And if they elect to do that, my question is do they have the right? And we basically cover their IMRF, which is it's not much, it's 1886. But they don't put anything in because they have no.
Oh, yeah, they have to buy it back.
They have to buy it back
This
as well.
protects them, say for instance, someone could do this now if they were laid off. It protects their right in the future to buy that service credit back.
Okay,
And, but the employer has to approve it because there is an employer expense
Okay.
for that employee to buy it back. We had dental hygienists that were laid off back in 2003, a long time ago. And this person's getting closer to retirement and wants to look at what it would cost for her to buy that back. I think it was like 6 months.
okay, so she would have to pay in, and it's not clear what she would pay, but to allow her to do that, we would also pay into IMRF 1886.
That is correct, yes.
And do we have a written policy that we will pay up to 12 months for anyone who wants to access this benefit?
No, we do not.
Is it on a case-by-case basis then?
No, I wouldn't say case by case. Anybody who came to us, we would bring it to the board
Okay.
for your approval.
I see.
That's what IMRF wants, is your approval, that it's
Yeah, I
okay
saw
for the
that.
governing body But if someone were to request that, we would always bring it to the board, yes.
Okay. Yeah, it just might be helpful then to have it in the written policy going forward. I did see that it has to go through the board, and I don't have a problem with it, but just to make sure that it's applied consistently across the board, I would encourage us to have it in writing. Samantha, do you have any questions or concerns? No. Okay. If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries. Next, we have approval of check request payable to Lori Ecio for motivational interviewing presentation in the amount of $5,700.
So moved. Carter.
Second, a motion and a second, any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries. Next, we have approval of check request payable to Fine for Sony for Smile Politely annual advertisement for 24-25 at the amount of $6,000.
So moved. Carter.
Second, we have a motion and second, is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries. Next, we have approval of check request payable to Dell Technologies for BLA Enterprise Exchange Server Software Assurances, all language. This is year 2 of 3. And the amount is a big number. If I remember correctly, $56,736 and some pennies.
79 pennies.
79 pennies to be exact.
So moved.
We have a motion, I'll second that. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries. Next, we have approval of check request payable to Champaign County Jazz Consortium for annual PDC agreement. This is from May 1st of this year through June of next year. And hold on. This is $6,077.
So moved. Carter.
Second, we have a motion and second, any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries. Next, we have a check request payable to Tyler Technologies for solution-oriented training, project management, and implementation.
So moved. Carter.
We have a motion and a second. The amount is,
19,300.
and this is a piece of technology that we currently have.
Yes.
This is for the new database they're building out for the new inspection
Okay.
contract that you approved.
Yeah, and this, we have a standing agreement with Tyler, or it's new?
Tyler is new, but you signed the contract November, December, I think, and this is the training to launch that.
Got it, okay.
Didn't they sell and become, what was the one we had before? Digital health.
PhD is
Digital
what we have
department.
currently, and
Yeah.
then this will be the new software program.
Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries. Next, we have approval of check request payable to Arnold's Office Furniture for balance due on Great Start workstations. I'm gonna try to say the amount every time, because it's important how much money you spend. It's a total of $26,555, and we have a balance of $6,638.75.
So moved. Carter.
Second, we have a motion, a second, any discussion? Did we do a screening on the office furniture?
Yes,
We did, okay.
yeah, that's why I don't even know what this one is, Arnold's Office Furniture. But yes, we're doing the bids and everything, and I sent you a picture too of the great, that was what I sent, the Great Start Bridge, before and after pictures,
Okay,
so.
thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, that carries. Next, we have approval of check request payable to Familial First Health for me invoice from Service 51 brand development and marketing materials. I'm actually going to take these in omnibus. And also approval of check request payable to Familial First Health for June invoice from Service 51 brand development and marketing materials.
So moved. Carter.
We have a motion, I'll second that. The first is $5,333. The second is $10,627. We have a motion and a second. I assume that they're marked as paid because they're under a certain amount? Or are they paid?
That, it's because they are a subcontract. So La Familia received a subcontract from us
I
to improve transgender services in our community. CPHD just acted as a fiduciary sponsor. So they paid for it, and we received the money from the grantor, and we paid them back.
Okay, so essentially, we can allow a subcontractor to pay in advance as a subcontractor.
They did not, they paid Circus 51 in advance,
Yeah,
and we paid them
and
back.
now we're paying them, so
That's
I
correct.
see.
Yeah, that's how the subcontract was set up.
Okay, thanks. Any other questions? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, that carries. Next, approval of check request payable to the city of Urbana for quarterly reimbursement for Urbana environmental health license fees. Motion, I'll second that. I think it's $16,986 with $2,220 for administrative costs. Let the record show that Kyle Patterson has joined the board meeting. Hi, Kyle. We are, just so you know, we're on number 14, which is quarterly reimbursement for environmental health license fees. We have a motion to second. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries. Next, we have approval of check request payable to Douglas County Health Department for May 2024 Illinois tobacco-free community activities.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? I'm just trying to pull up that. Oops, I'm trying to get through all the health inspection. Okay. Motion second, any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries. Next, we have pending grants for the administrators to sign.
There's one.
There is one, okay. This is the minutes. This is an account agreement. This is a funds resolution. What's the one that you want, that you have a motion to give them? I don't have any check requests in front of me. I have a public funds resolution and account agreement.
Oh, no,
and
those are
budget.
things for me to sign.
Okay.
It's just it's the last page.
The very last page,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. Cool. So I would entertain a motion to approve the administrator to sign a contract between CUPHD and NACHO for a presentation in Social Justice and Health Equity Summit in Washington DC, June 27th to 28th of this year, and the amount of $5,200. The contract period is now, basically, June 25th to July 15th.
So what that means is NACHO, National Association of City and County Health Officials, is paying Whitney to go out and present on the project that she's been doing.
Paying you to pay me.
Paying us to pay you. Yeah,
Sounds very much out.
that's kind of cool.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, any discussion? Congratulations, have a great time in DC.
I already got back, I'm done.
Don't break anything.
Could stop rising fascism, that'd be great. We'll
Yeah.
add a
That'd be
special bonus
great.
on your pay, if you can make that happen, thank you very much.
Perfect.
Okay. If there's no other discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, that carries. Next, we have a monthly meeting of August 14th. Just a reminder, we're now meeting on Wednesdays, second Wednesday of the month at 5 o'clock.
I will be traveling on August 14th.
Yeah, and I think you had mentioned that at the last meeting. How will you be available on August 14th at 5 o'clock? It's a Wednesday. Okay. Yeah, I don't have my kid is going to school the day after that, so I'll be here.
Right. And that meeting was Andy Ford's from FAST.
Yeah, and I asked a lot of questions. I
You
just
did,
want to
that
point
went
it out
really
that we did a nice balance.
It was very
Okay, if
fast.
there's no further business before us, we stand adjourned. You can be thorough and fast.